The
From your
Shiites don't
historical...
agree with the Shias.
No, they agree on the book. They all agree on the book.
They all disagree with each other.
What do you think yourself, Shabir?
They're all
What do you
murdering
think?
and slaying each other in the name of the Prophet.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
I would suggest that when we are considering something like that, it ought to be on a level playing field, William. You see, if I were to ask this question myself, that look, killings occur everywhere in the world for many various reasons, yeah? But when a believer in any particular religion commits an atrocity, then it is seen as different.
Well, there's an awful lot of believers that are committing an awful lot of atrocities, and they all happen to be committing those atrocities for the same reason.
But on that basis, if I were to say that there are 1,000 believers and 100 non-believers, in terms of criminal acts, where are you likely to see more?
Sorry, should repeat the question.
If there are 1,000 believers and 100 non-believers, and if you look at the normal level of criminality, where would you expect to see more defendants?
In the both way, both the same. Both the
same. Okay.
Logically impossible.
I don't know the answer to that, but if you're going to give me an answer, I sincerely hope you're going to give me the source.
No.
So
I'm asking you on a logical footing. No,
on a
logical footing.
It depends on what the faith is.
Okay, let's assume.
And it depends on your definition of a crime. So let me explain, and I'll explain that.
Please do.
So my definition of a crime is when you oppress another human being. And when you oppress another human being, that I think is a crime.
Your definition of a crime is when a person oppresses somebody.
Human being.
Okay. Is that the totality of your definition of?
Let me elaborate.
Please do.
What I find offensive is the brainwashing of religious education with young people.
I'm sorry, William, I asked on a general level what is, you were explaining to me what, according to your definition, is a criminal act.
Oppressing another human being.
Right. So is that your total definition of a criminal act?
Well, it's a general one.
So let's do it in totality. What would that constitute?
I don't understand.
To impose your belief in
a criminal act. Any kind. I mean, we know in this country. Are you a driver, William? Are you a driver, William?
Yes.
Yeah. If you go through red lights, what is that?
It's a criminal offence.
Do you accept that?
Of course.
Why?
Because the law.
Because that's not oppressing anybody, is it?
Yeah, but the law says you could.
Well, can I just, if you don't mind, then I'll speak to you.
It is in the sense that if we don't have that, then I'm going to crash into you. You're going to crash into me, and then I'm oppressed in the sense that I've got broken legs.
The law, you know that.
So just get to your point.
No, I'm just following what you are saying. On a general level, and I did say on a general level, you find that in certain parts of the world, you have got a criminal offence which carries a sentence of death.
I don't believe in the death penalty.
I'm telling you in the world generally. I did say generally.
Yeah.
If we come down to individuals, we wouldn't have a legal system. Because everybody has got their own perspective. Like you have, I have, everybody here has. We would not be able to have a collective legal system which would be for the benefit of society. Don't you agree?
No, we do. I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, you don't understand. Okay. No, basically what I am saying, William, is that any criminal offense, or criminal act that you talk about, yes, has to be, it's not in a vacuum. It is in the context of reality. Yeah. So I can agree with you that if there is an individual oppressing somebody, then our definition of oppression needs to be established collectively before we can understand that that person is being oppressed. Don't you agree with that?
Okay, so what's the point you're making?
No, I'm just following yours.
Okay, we're a little lost now. What's your belief? Are you a believer?
No, I'm just general.
These guys?
Who is these guys?
Well, these guys I was chatting with here.
No, I'm sorry.
Your gang.
Who?
These guys. The Muslim
if the wife heard that, that's it. Yeah? To me, I'm a human being who subscribes, yes, to Islam. I am a Muslim, yes.
Okay. I'm talking about the interpretation of the Quran by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
So what about Ayan Hiss earlier? Have we left her now?
I asked whether she's going to burn in eternal hellfire.
No, you didn't say that. You
asking you
didn't
that
talk
now.
about I am sincerely. And I will answer the same.
Okay.
I am not the creator. I would not be able to sit in judgment to determine who will and who won't. If you tell me that the Quran says so, take it up with the creator.
Well, that's what I'm told day in, day out by Muslims.
Okay, William, have you studied the Quran?
A little bit.
A little, not all of
Yeah,
it.
no, I haven't read all
I
of
would
it.
suggest you do that. Then maybe some of the questions you have got will be answered by
Well,
the creator to you,
I
rather
tried.
than another human being.
I tried, and
Yeah.
I often talk with people that believe it to be the word of God, and I've never had anybody say anything that's even remotely convincing to its worth as the word of God or the truth.
Okay, but to me, it doesn't make sense, William. I agree. I mean, you are entitled to
I mean,
your
I
opinion.
think it's
If I can just finish, William.
It's a fable, like
that's
like
fine.
the
You are
Bible and all the other
but
fable
this is where I seem to see, William, and I mean this with the greatest of respect.
You don't have to
that-
respect my beliefs.
No, I mean with the greatest of respect what I'm about to say.
Because I
you
don't
see, William,
respect yours.
that's fine. You are entitled to that. It's a free
Yeah,
country.
of course. I
Yeah?
respect you as a human being.
I do likewise.
But I don't respect your beliefs.
That's fine. That's entirely up to you. But I would say that logic dictates that for one to disagree in totality with somebody's beliefs, one would have studied the beliefs to be able to be in a position to logically refute those beliefs. You have just told me
Yeah.
you have not fully studied the Quran, so you are
fully
not
studied.
in that
But then
position.
I've met countless Muslims who haven't studied it fully either. That's just your.
I'm not talking about others, I'm talking about me and you here.
Well,
So
have
I
you
would
studied
ask-
It, have you
yes, I
studied
have.
it in its totality?
Yes, I have. By the grace of God, yes, I have.
Yeah. So
I have not only
therefore,
that,
you believe
not
that
only
all
that,
of the other people in the world that are not Muslims or believe in another God, they're all wrong. Is that right? They have to be.
Again, you see, William, I never said that. And if you are, when you asked me about hell, I told you what my position was, and I'll tell you about what you just said. You see,
No, tell me about what you think.
yeah, I'm telling you
I know what I
I just
think.
said. I'm saying what I will tell you is very simple.
Yeah.
If this was a Christian friend of mine here,
Yeah.
I would not condemn him. If he was a Jewish friend, I would not condemn him. If he was an atheist, I would not condemn any of them. One thing I would say is, guys, let's try and establish whatever we are saying on an evidential basis. So I can dismiss your opinions, but I ought to do them on a logical, reasonable and rational footing, rather than saying, wait a minute, you know what, I've met 50 atheists and they all talk nonsense, so you will talk nonsense, so I'm not going to listen to you. That doesn't sound reasonable, does it?
No, what does
It doesn't.
What does the Quran say about non-believers and apostates?
Right.
What's your interpretation of that?
Not my interpretation.
Yeah, that's what I asked. The question I asked.
Not my interpretation. Let's look at what Islam says about it. Yeah. What do you want to know about apostates, according
What's
to the
penalty
definition?
for apostasy?
After the day of resurrection, the Creator will deal with them.
So all the people that have told me that the penalty for apostasy in death is death, their interpretation is wrong and your interpretation is different.
Right. Okay.
Is that correct?
No, it isn't. You see, I did say at the start, have you studied the Quran? And you said a little bit
No,
of
you're not answering the question. We're not
Let me
politicians.
finish. You see, I did say that, and why? Because had you read it, you would have been able to show me where in the Quran it says apostate should be put to death. Now it doesn't. If I can
That's
just
not
say,
what
if
I
I can
said.
just finish.
I'm not a Muslim.
If I can just finish.
I've been told by
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know, I've lost count, dozens of Muslims that the price for apostasy is death.
Right.
So why is
Now-
it then that your
But
book
it's
is
asking
so
your
wide
opinion.
open
I'm
to misinterpretation? None of you
Now-
guys seem to agree
now,
on what it says.
Now here is the amazing thing. You see, I find this very reasonable to think. If I and you are disagreeing over a particular legal aspect of the English law, yeah, William, follow
You're
me
not
through.
answering the question.
Well, if you allow me to finish, you'll see I do answer it.
Try and answer it more succinctly, please.
You see, at the end of the day, the way I view what is succinct may be a bit different to you, so you are going to have to bear patience with me. You see, if we disagree over something in English law, the most logical thing to do is for me and you to go back to the source and try and determine whose interpretation seems to be more appropriate. Now, I'm telling you this, William. You are telling me you've asked hundreds of Muslims. I'm using hundreds, yeah? You have asked many Muslims.
Scores is more accurate.
Scores. Let's say scores you've asked. They are not here to defend themselves. I did say earlier on, me and you, So if you are asking me about apostasy, I'm telling you very clearly, in the
Which
Quran there is no death penalty.
Your interpretation of the Quran.
Now you see, if you hear me carefully, there is no.
It's your interpretation.
Now, how can you have an interpretation of something that is not there?
Well, that's just it. That's completely. Then I understand why it is that so many Muslims that I've spoken to.
You see, you gone there to them. Don't talk about them. There's me, there's you, and there's the Quran.
Well, what you're saying is completely different to what these two guys were saying.
Again, you are relying on them.
Yeah.
Don't rely on your own arguments here, William.
Well, all
I am saying
is
to you that you can't.
Objectively, if there's a book
Yes.
that's so wide open to misinterpretation,
According
it's
to whom?
not a very clever book.
That is your opinion.
It's not a very good book.
William, that is your opinion.
It's not a godly book.
God is perfect.
Right.
Exactly.
You see, William, that is your opinion, and you know what is worse about?
It's absurd.
Yeah, my brother, I can agree with you. It's your opinion. You are entitled to it. But you know what is really absurd? The fact that you haven't totally studied it yet, you are passing judgment on it.
I'm passing.
That's absurd.
So if you want me to read the Quran back to back,
Front to back, or back to front, whichever.
back to front to back, whichever way. If
Yes.
you really think that therein I'm going to find the answer that I'm looking for, you're wrong, because my frustration with the Quran is not my belief of it. My
Yes.
frustration of the Quran,
Sure.
the Hadith, and the followers of these books is the fundamental disagreements within all of them. What I find particularly offensive about this faith, which I say unapologetically, and I'll make this quite clear, I don't respect it at all. I respect human beings, and I respect human beings as individuals, but I don't respect their beliefs. I find them frankly stupid, and I'm not a politician, and therefore I'm not seeking to be politically correct for votes. You know, I don't want to see anybody physically hurt. I don't want to see anybody mentally hurt.
Just as you
but
don't respect Einstein's theory of whatever, it's just an idea.
Carry on, brother, carry on. You stopped at I don't respect.
yeah, so I don't respect any of it in terms of the ideology.
Okay.
Because all I see are the repercussions of the ideology.
Yes.
It's mixed messaging,
Uh-huh.
regression,
Yes.
and the oppression of hundreds of millions of people all over the world.
Yeah.
And that's what I find offensive.
Okay.
And what I talk about Ayaan Hirsi Ali earlier
Yes.
is what I see her is a beacon of a celebration of a human being who through adversity has created an extraordinary life, where her life's work is to free people from oppression and to facilitate the education of otherwise uneducated people in a secular education system
Yeah.
that would facilitate and help them realise a progressive way of life, which is to study in a secular educational system and innovate and create a good life for themselves, just as they've done all over many parts of the world where there is an absence of religious belief, such as Scandinavia, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, many parts of much of America. Sadly, the Midwest is fucked with religion. But these parts of the world where there is an absence of this monotheistic, psychopathic gods that warp and twist the minds of so many people and prevent innovation and development. And this is a fact. It's not, just look at the statistics.
Right.
The most civilized countries on earth are the countries with the least religious people. Fact.
Okay.
And the most pious countries in the world, have the highest rates of unemployment. They have the greatest oppression against homosexuals. They have the greatest oppression against women. They have practically no education for young girls. And those countries are predominantly, whether you like it or not, in the Islamic world. And that is my problem fundamentally with the faith, not with individual human beings. No freedom of fucking anything.
Right.
No freedom
Okay,
of
William.
anything.
William.
And imperialism, which is a different subject.
What I was saying, I mean, the passion, okay, I would suggest should be preceded by the necessary information to formulate the conclusion. Do you agree?
You're speaking in
Right,
riddles.
okay. Yeah, no, it's not at all. It's simple English, William, respectfully. You see, I said to you, being passionate is one thing. Okay?
Yeah.
But for you to formulate your conclusions, they should be based on some form of intelligent research.
You don't think what
Yeah.
I just said
Now-
was based
no,
on
no.
intelligent research?
No. You see, the problem. the problem.
Well, then there's no point continuing our conversation.
Actually, William, I was going to
You don't
finish.
think what I just
No,
said
no, William.
was based on intelligent research? What I just said was
No,
completely
I
commonsensical as a human being.
Well, William, if you allow me to
Completely
finish, maybe you will
commonsensical.
understand my point. Yes? My point is, again, I will bring it back to you. You have said many things about what you consider to be a particular faith. I mentioned one aspect of the English legal system, okay? I will mention something else to you. We, in particular communities, say in the United States, there is a prevalence of drug addiction, prostitution, drunkenness, domestic violence.
But that's prevalent all over the world.
One second.
That happens in Saudi and Yemen
One
as
second.
well.
Now, does the United States legal system, administrative system, or the constitutional element, does it permit that kind of action to take place in the country?
Does it allow that kind of action
Yes.
to take place?
Does it? Yes.
It's a human problem that happens all over the world.
I'm not asking you that.
And-
Should I repeat the question, William?
Does it allow it
According
to
to America, the American legal system,
Yeah,
administrative,
those things you just
constitutional,
talked about.
yes, do they actively ask them to practice or indulge in those practices?
No.
Would you blame the American system?
For drunkenness and prostitution, no, because these
Why
are
not?
human problems. They're not American problems.
So if I were to
Drunkenness and
Well,
prostitution's happened all
if
over
I
the
can
world
just finish,
since day
William.
dot.
You see the analogy.
Desperate women and animalistic men.
Yeah.
You don't think those things happen
William,
in
the
every
analogy
country
I'm
in the
drawing
world?
here is this. I would suggest to you that you look at Muslims.
You don't think drunkenness happens in Muslim countries? Look at Park Lane, it's full of
William,
them.
I agree with you.
Full of them, every one of those five-star hotels.
William, I agree with you, but if I can just finish.
Drunkenness and prostitution are human problems. They're
William,
not, they're
William,
not
let
absolved
me finish.
by faith or
Let
anything
me
else.
finish. But here is the problem. You see, if I were to tell you that, look, because that Muslim is drunk, does it make it anything special? No, it doesn't. He is a Muslim who is drunk. If he was found in the street causing trouble, he would be arrested like any other normal citizen. Now, if I can just finish. No, sorry. The problem here, William, is this, and I found it a few minutes into our conversation. If you haven't studied the Quran, it is akin to what I just said about the United States system. If the system doesn't permit it, you are looking at the people and blaming the system. You disagreed, and I agree with you.
So what's the point?
You haven't seen it? Okay. If Islam doesn't permit all that, should you blame the system?
But the analogy, it doesn't make any sense because
No, it won't,
you get
because
drunk
it
atheists,
disagrees
you
with
get
the way you are
drunk-
thinking.
You get drunk Catholics.
Do you get drunk Muslims?
Yes.
Yes, you do. What is?
Yes, of course
Yeah.
you do.
Now here is what
Every
I'm.
five-star
Now,
hotel is full of
excellent.
drunken
Now,
Muslims.
does the Quran say that they are permitted to get drunk?
No.
No, you're not allowed to do
Ooh,
that.
sorry.
No, you're not allowed to do that in the Quran.
Should you blame the system?
No, you shouldn't blame the system.
Thank you, William.
So what's the point?
That's it. Thank you, William. God bless.